And welcome to the Brightburn Society YouTube Academy. No, the Brightburn YouTube Academy. Brightburn Society is part of my Facebook group, which you can join, which I will do a commercial on later. Thanksgiving. Our forefathers had a day called Thanksgiving where you're grateful. And you got to have perspective that our forefathers didn't have the tenth of the luxuries that we had. They came over a boat. A lot of people died. Came over and planted themselves on Plymouth Rock. And went through a harsh winter, and many people died. But they set a meal to be thankful for the things they had, even though they went through a terrible journey. They risked, and the reward was hard, and the cost was high. But it founded this country with all its flaws. And today I want to talk to you about thankfulness. I don't know if anyone has told you this, but the world is made better by thankful people. It is literally a life hack. A life hack. It's one of the very spokes of the foundation, the cornerstone foundation of emotional intelligence. Gratefulness, thankfulness, and we're going to use them interchangeably, is one of the foundations of emotional intelligence. And if you're ungrateful and you're unthankful, you're missing that cornerstone. And I will fair to say that if you are unthankful and ungrateful person, that you lack emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence leads to an intelligent life. Because it's rare that people who have no emotional intelligence have good outcomes. So if you are intelligent, just intelligent, you have intelligent outcomes. And intelligent outcomes, when you start to break it down, one of the ways you have intelligent outcomes is by having emotional intelligence. And if you have one of those spokes, or one of those cornerstones of thankfulness and gratefulness, that's how you build that foundation. If you're unthankful, you have no emotional intelligence, so therefore you don't have no intelligent outcomes, so you're just probably not intelligent. Yes. So a roundabout way, am I saying, James, that if I'm ungrateful and unthankful, I'm not intelligent? That's exactly what I'm saying. Because it's impossible for you to have intelligent outcomes. There's people, and here's the thing. It is quickly fixed because thankfulness, gratefulness is a choice. It's a choice. It's a way of looking at things. See, you could be bitter, resentful, unhappy, unthankful, ungrateful, entitled, see yourself as a victim, or you could be grateful, thankful, blessed, and see yourself as lucky for having the life you had, even with all its flaws. It's a choice. And both of them, according to your brain, are true. If you ask your brain, hey, how shitty my life is, your brain's going to give you a really good answer. If you ask your brain, how great is my life, your brain's going to give you an intelligent answer. So we can determine how positive and how much emotional intelligent someone is by the questions they ask themselves. See, your life, the span of your life, you probably just have a few bad things and you focused on them. And the rest of them are just ordinary days to good days. That's the majority of them. And having an ordinary day is a good day for the rest of the world, because you're not running from some rape gang or some warlord or starved economically. You know, you're able to bring home food for the day. That's a great day in the other parts of the world. It's first world society that we look, if someone tells us one wrong thing, we're upset and we blow it all out of proportions because our mindset is to be unthankful. When your mindset is unthankful, it only leads to be more unthankful and find things to be more unthankful about. And then you become someone who everybody has to walk eggshells around because everything triggers you. Because you're looking to ratify and to solidify and prop up that unthankfulness, that ungratefulness. So you look someone who's, stomped on your toe. You get all upset. You start getting upset and get all offended. Because your mind is negative. Your mind thinks negatively. It thinks unthankfully and ungrateful, and it sees itself as a victim and entitled, and it says to itself, if you had the life that I lived, you would be acting the same way. That's not true. There are plenty of people who've had it worse than you, and this is the truth, and it's true for me and it's true for you, has had it worse than you and acted better, treated people better. You choose to shit on other people's day because you feel entitled to, because you're an unthankful person. But let me tell you the truth. Here it is, point blank. Unthankful, ungrateful people make the world worse. If you look through history, you'll see it. It was ideologies convinced by the other people to be unthankful for what they got and to blame other people for their circumstance. And then there comes the war, right? Look through, Hitler was a very unthankful person. Mussolini, look at all the terrible people in the world. They were unthankful. They were ungrateful. The world is made better by grateful and thankful and happier people. People who have emotional intelligence. People who have intelligent lives. So I know we're going into Thanksgiving, but it should be one day where you should be thankful. You should adopt thankfulness and gratefulness for the span of your whole life. Because you will have better outcomes. Today in the Brightburn YouTube Academy, that's about mindsets and belief systems for entrepreneurs, I will tell you right now, you will have better outcomes if you're thankful and grateful, because it will add to emotional intelligence. And if you have emotional intelligence, that means you're controlling your mind, and people who can control their mind can control their future. And that's just it. Don't be unemotionally intelligent. Don't be bitter, resentful, and ungrateful and unthankful, because it will make you self-absorbed. And you won't be someone who gives back, but you'll be someone who takes. And not only takes, you'll shit and stomp on what people give. So, take into heart today. There's a reason why we celebrate Thanksgiving. Because society is built on thankful, positive people. Society can never be built on ungrateful people. Unthankful people. Entitled, people who see themselves as victims. Society cannot be built by these people. They don't know how to build society. They only know how to bring it down. And we see that in our society today. But I'm trying not to be political. Not today. Not in the Brightburn YouTube Academy. You can go to the Intellectual Anarchy, where you will see a commercial right now. Hey everyone, it's James Salazar with James Salazar Media. If I can just have a moment of your time to talk about some things that I'm doing and some free things I have for you. Let me talk about my Intellectual Anarchy show, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas, where we talk about philosophy, religion, and politics because I think they're inseparable from having a successful life. We also have the Brightburn YouTube Academy, where we talk about the belief systems and principles in being an entrepreneur. We also have the James Salazar Media podcast, where we talk about pop culture and politics and futurism. Some free things I have for you. We have the Brightburn Society Facebook group, where you come together with people with like-minded goals, where we maximize your illumination by maximizing your human potential. That's free. You just got to join. I also have a free ebook for you called How to Be Great at Everything You Do Blueprint. Just download that. That is free to you. Also, you can check out my coaching services and my speaking services at jamessalazarmedia.com. Everything will be in the show notes of this video. Also, I have a QR code right here. You can take a picture of that and it will link you to everything I have. So that's all I have to say. This is James signing out. Have a good one. So let's wrap it up here. I want you to have great outcomes in your life. I do. I want you to be at your best, your greatest potential. I want to maximize your illumination. And if you're bitter and ungrateful and unthankful, you can only get so far. Nobody wants to learn from anybody. I know that's unthankful and ungrateful. Nobody wants to be around someone who's unthankful and ungrateful. You know, they might be around them for a moment to stir the lower base emotions in them, but then that gets exhausting and they don't want to be a part of it no more. And often leads to war, genocide. Truly, it does. History shows that the worst things that has happened in our society came off the back of ideologies that taught people to be unthankful. And if you want to be a success, you can only go so far being an ungrateful person. You can't. You're going to hit a glass ceiling that is self-made. That those emotions can never push you past. But if you're thankful, grateful, positive, and uplifting, people want to be around you. People will want to do business with you. People will want to see and hear what you have today, have to say, or your talents, whatever it is. Because people want to feel good at the end of the day. And if you can make people feel positive about their life, make them feel positive about their outcomes, because you're positive, they're going to want to be around you. Nobody wants to hear how they should not be thankful and the system's rigged against them. The system's not rigged against them. The system is rigged for certain people, but it ain't rigged against you. You can still prosper according to your abilities. You can. It is possible, especially in this country. Millions of people every year come in and become successful. There's immigrants from Mexico who come in. They sell oranges on the corner. And then they go and they get an ice cream truck. And then they sell their elotes. And then they get together and they get a food truck. And then they open a restaurant. Before they know it, they're upper middle class to rich people. Because they weren't taught by certain people in America that the system's rigged against them and they shouldn't try to be successful. No, they weren't privileged to learn that lie that you only can learn by being born here. If you come here and you are grateful, thankful, you do hard work, you will be rewarded. You will. It may take some people longer than others, but you will be rewarded for your hard work. So I ask you today, choose the mindset of thankfulness and gratefulness, because it will strengthen your emotional intelligence. And a strong emotional intelligence will give you control over your mind to plan your future out, because it will produce intelligent outcomes. And only smart people can produce intelligent outcomes. So I leave you with that today. Be thankful. This is James Salazar signing out of the Bright Burn YouTube Academy. See you next week.